rubber match of the 3-3 between the Prowlers and Rockers is a New Year's Eve matinee here at Big Boy Arena. Good evening, everybody. Will Wiggleman here with you on the PHP Network. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. It is the rubber match in this 3-3 between the Prowlers and the Rockers. Port Huron took the first meeting in overtime on Friday. Rockers took the game last night in regulation, both of those ones at McMorran Place. And now we're here at Big Boy Arena for a New Year's Eve matinee, the final game of the calendar year 2023. We'll have much more coming up on the pregame show. Coming up next, you're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network. Come fill McMorran Place at every Prowlers home game this season. General admission tickets are just $15 with discounts available for seniors, military, students, and children under 12. Upgrade your experience in one of our suites, or bring the whole squad to the game with discounts for groups of 10 or more. Find your best option to visit the Thumb Coast professional hockey team by visiting phprowlers.com and find the tickets tab, or call the box office at 810-985-6166. Secure your seats today. Back here in Fraser, as the Prowlers and the Rockers are just minutes away from of that game as Motor City makes a big comeback to pick up the victory and get the 3 points. Prowlers not so special teams were a big issue last night. 1 for 8 on the power play and just 1 for 4 on the penalty kill as the Rockers scored 3 power play goals in the game, and again that costs the Prowlers, who were leading for good chunks of the game. Taking a look at what this means for the standings in the FPHL, as the Prowlers now sit at 8, 9, and 3, 4 points back of the Mississippi Seawolves, who are the Prowlers' next opponent coming up on Tuesday and Wednesday in Mississippi. And while the Rockers still firmly in second place in the Empire Division with 38 points. And the Prowlers may have to start looking back a little bit, as Baton Rouge is now just 6 points back, and that's 2 regulation wins if you're keeping score at home. So Port Huron will certainly need some points here tonight and likely coming up this week against Mississippi. Well, TJ Sneath scored the game-winning goal for the Rockers last night. In his 6 games for Motor City, he has 6 goals, 4 of them on the power play, as he's been a big part of the offense for Motor City, and he'll be a big piece needed to continue to step up with Scott Kowash still listed as inactive as of tonight. Matt Graham, you see there on your screen, playing his 300th game as a Port Huron Prowler tonight. He is the first Prowler to 300 games with the franchise in his career, the all-time leader in assists and games played for the Prowlers. He'll be in the starting lineup tonight along with Dalton Jay and Liam Freeborn, as the only lineup change is once again the bottom pairing right defenseman, as it was last night. Braden Deck slots back in, and Dalton Young is out tonight. There's another change, actually, I should mention. You see it there in goal. Makar Sokolov will get his first start of the weekend after Ian Wallace went 1-1 in the first 2 games at McMorran Place this weekend, as we get set for this 3rd game of the 3-3 between the Prowlers and the Motor City Rockers. It's here at Big Boy Arena, and they're just getting set for the pregame ceremonies here as the Prowlers and Rockers hit the ice. Prowlers looking to pick up some points here, and maybe, just maybe, they'll be able to get themselves a win and a little bit of momentum. Currently on their stretch of 7 games in 9 days, Prowlers are 1-1 and looking to get above 500 in this stretch. In just moments, we'll take it down to ice level, and we'll give you but first we'll give you the Orthopedic Associates starting lineup for the Prowlers. Be Dalton J, Matt Graham, and Liam Freeborn up front. Adam Heinzel and Braden Deck on defense. And Makar Sokolov in goal. Let's take you down to ice level. And with that, we are just about set for puck drop tonight between the Prowlers and the Rockers from Big Boy Arena. New Year's Eve action this afternoon, and Prowlers will be spending New Year's Eve on the bus for the 2nd straight year as they have to head straight down to Mississippi, where they'll be on Tuesday. But that's looking too far ahead. Let's just sick in the moment right now. Take a look at the starting goaltenders for tonight's game. Makar Sokolov for the Prowlers tonight, 4-2-1 with a 3.42 goals against average and a 9.02 save percentage. His last start, the overtime loss in Danbury last Saturday. Trevor Babin started Friday night against the Prowlers in Port Huron's overtime win, 8-2-4 with a 2.67 goals against average and a 9.24 save percentage. Matt Graham, playing in his 300th game as a Port Huron Prowler, will line up against the defenseman Mike Wynn for this opening faceoff. And we are underway, and a very rare defenseman starting up front that you don't see a fight off of. Looks like Wynn might be playing forward tonight. We get a quick whistle for offside, as Wynn is currently centering Tim Delaney and Tristan Wells, both of whom have played defense against the Prowlers at different points this season. Also out there making his Rockers debut is Cam Burt, number 42. He's actually playing defense right now, as he's paired with Jamison Milam, who had the puck hop over his stick. Graham was after it, and Milam gloved it just outside the blue line. He has it back. That puck dumped in. Wells working on it in the corner. He'll wrap it around. Comes to the point, Rotundi plays it over to the far side corner. Flying in with a shot was Devon Fields. Puck out in front, and it comes over to the boards, net off its moorings. So we'll get a whistle, 60 seconds gone in the opening period. So we got a defensive zone face-off for the Prowlers. Matt Graham still out there to take the draw, as the Prowlers unable to change off the stoppage. They still have their starting five out there as Graham turns the puck over. TJ Delaney, who had 2 goals last night, taken in by Deck. The pass towards Freeborn hopped away from him. Prowlers will at least get the start of a change. So that one's tipped into their end. There's Deck. Plays it off the wall back to Mitch Jones. Scantleberry couldn't work it out. Delaney back in. From the outside, glove save by Sokolov, and Lambden upended by Deck, as Cade Lambden was driving towards the net. So the Rockers getting the first opportunities of this game so far with possession in the Prowlers zone. Port Huron looking to change that as Johnson works it up to Tristan Sim. They battle for it in front of the benches here on the near side, and now Johnson has it again. Out to Scantleberry off the boards. There's Suffredini back off the wall and out. Jones over to Johnson. Feeds it up, it's tipped in. Suffredini after it in his own end. Trying to work it back up the near side wall. Johnson wrists one, that just goes wide. Jones pinching in, trying to keep the puck alive. It's chipped out though. And now Federley gives it up to Johnson. Fanned on the first attempt on the pass, but he's able to get it out. And Foley will just loft it in, gloved down by Suffredini. Wynn up the right wing side. He'll dump it around. Wynn and Schumacher go in together on the near side boards. And now Parsons behind his own net. Picard dumps it out. Merritt skates into it. He has a chance with Picard, gets it to him, and the puck just slid under his stick. Cam Burt behind his own net. Had the puck stolen by the Prowlers, who are in on the forecheck. And now Wells able to dump it out. Schumacher pulls up to Dalton J. Trying to skate past Giuliano, he dumps it in. Babin plays it back around. Heinzel fresh off the bench. Feed up to Freeborn. Tried to send Jay in. Comes right back to Adam Heinzel. Deck off the boards, up the near side. Giuliano with his head up. He'll go off the far wall. Puck slides into Prowler territory. Wells with a one-hander, and he scores. Tristan Wells just put it on net with one hand. It goes 5-hole on Makar Sokolov, and the Rockers score first and take a 1-0 lead. There was a goal last night. Actually, it was Gaudet, excuse me, not Tristan Wells, who got the one-hander. And a great play by Roman Gaudet to pick up his third of the year. Less than 4 minutes gone, and it's already a 1-0 game as Conway and Scantlebury go spilling to the ice. And Paul Jean, the head of officiating in the FPHL, refereeing his third game of this series, will send both Scantlebury and Conway to the box. Jonathan Sitarski, the other referee, Colin Pons and Brandon Batens, the linesmen tonight. Or this afternoon, I should say. We'll get some 4-on-4 hockey. And the Prowlers looking to use the open ice and get themselves tied up in this game. They have the speedy Sam Merritt out there to take the face-off against TJ Sneath. Rotundi winds, gives over to Fields. Back to Rotundi, gets in his shot. Knocked down by Sokolov, he didn't have the rebound. Prowler's able to clear it, and now Merritt starts to rush the other way. Pulls up, finds Jones with a wrist shot. Gloved and held by Babin. 19 seconds gone in the 4-on-4. Officially, it's Scantlebury and Conway for roughing. 7 seconds after Roman Gaudet's unassisted goal. Graham in to take the draw against Giuliano. It's tied up there and forced to the far side. Graham behind the net trying to cause some havoc. It's worked to Suffredini. Gets up to TJ Delaney, drop back. Suffredini skates out into Prowler territory. Sent it across, and Sokolov sticked it away as Delaney was flying the back post. Hand pass called against Motor City, so they'll take the face-off outside. 15-18 left to go in period 1. As both teams sending out some new guys. A new 4 for both sides. Federley and Wynn in on this draw. Federley wins it back. Schumacher up to Austin Federley. Prowlers bounce back and try the other side. Freeborn works in. Taken off his stick by a couple of Rockers, and then puck poked to Babin. He'll keep it moving to Burt. Moved up to Milam. Jumping in on the play to Wynn. Pulls up, gets it to Milam, who tipped it on net, and Sokolov made the save, and he'll cover up for a whistle. We'll take a timeout, 14:48 to go in the opening period. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
I'm proud to serve farmers because everything they do matters.
If I could choose one word to describe a farmer, I would say essential.
Dedicated.
Enterprising.
The most creative people.
They're providing food for the rest of the world.
Some of the qualities I look for when hiring is personality, perseverance, someone that's determined. We want to be able to hire someone that understands what we're supporting, and ultimately that's the grower.
Come fill McMorran Place at every Prowlers home game this season. General admission tickets are just $15 with discounts available for seniors, military, students, and children under 12. Upgrade your experience in one of our suites, or bring the whole squad to the game with discounts for groups of 10 or more. Find your best option to visit the Thumbcoats professional hockey team by visiting phprowlers.com and find the tickets tab, or call the box office at 810-985-6166. Secure your seats today. Roman Gaudette with the only goal so far. We're still playing 4-on-4 for the next 45 seconds. As the faceoff comes deep into Prowler territory after that last save from Makar Sokolov. Early shots favoring the Rockers 5-1. And they have the 1-0 lead. Now Jay off the faceoff, working one-on-one with Rotundi. Jay just takes the shot, and it's stopped by Babin. He'll hang on for a whistle. And Merritt causing a little bit of a ruckus in front, as he's been doing a lot lately. Sam Merritt finding his nose to the net and just causing a little bit of trouble there. He's drawn a lot of attention over this past series or two from defenders. He's been right in front of the goaltenders. Suffredini curling back in the corner. He'll start up the right wing side, then cut to the middle. Over to Delaney, working on Johnson. Delaney tried to go all the way around, stopped by Sokolov, and then that puck flies off the back glass. Merritt moves the other way. Johnson gets it in. There's Merritt rimming it around. Suffredini, the only one there. He'll play it right off the boards. Delaney into offensive territory. We're back to 5-on-5 as Scantlebury and Conway step out of the penalty boxes. Picard to Scantlebury, and he's in a one-on-one against Suffredini. Takes the outside shot right into the breadbasket of Trevor Babin. He'll hang out for a whistle, and Suffredini gives a little cross-check to Scantlebury. And now Scantlebury's going right back to the penalty box, as is Suffredini. So they'll continue to take one from each side. Seven Foley right there in the box to give a little bit of support to his teammate Scantlebury, who doesn't feel like he should have gotten any kind of penalty on that one. Maybe a little frustration there for Scantlebury, the fact that he has to sit in the box once again after a couple of Rockers went after him. There's Fields off the draw. Given over to Sneath. Milam into offensive territory. Dropped off to Sneath from the outside, and Sokolov got the pad on it. Freeborn trying to fight his way by. Now Merritt up to Heinzel. Dumped in, Conway. Taking some hits from Freeborn. He's able to move it along to Milam. His pass off a skate, Freeborn the other direction, but the Rockers came back in numbers. And Freeborn just couldn't get himself free, turning towards the net. 7 minutes gone in the Munger Physical Therapy first period. Wynn trying to curl away from Schumacher. Wynn skates into the puck from the outside. Sent it right through the slot. And now Jay the other direction, gives it off to Schumacher. Taken in by Fields. Rotundi. Got it back. He'll skate out, and now gives it to Gaudette. Taken away by Federley. Puck bounces back to Motor City Ice where Wynn has it. 30 seconds left in the 4-on-4s. That pass played right off of Federley. Now into Prowler territory. Taken away by Wynn, but Picard has the puck back. Play comes out. It's Jones entering offensive territory. He'll rim it around. Picard. Rims it back the other direction. Now we're back to 5-on-5. As TJ Delaney dangles his way through center. Into the Prowlers zone. Quick shot. Stopped by Sokolov. He'll gobble it up for a whistle and a faceoff. Right off the face-off. It's the Rockers controlling. They'll dump it deep. Dumped out. And it goes all the way down. Icing waved off. And hopefully, now that I've just talked to security, we can get people to stop standing in our camera lane. As Sokolov covers up that dump with Cade Lambden flying in on him. It's one of many issues that we constantly have here at Big Boy Arena. It's not exactly an arena built for broadcasting. A small press box and not a lot of space, and of course the camera here is not able to be elevated as high as we'd like it. Not quite like the nice press box we have at McMorran Place. Sim and Lambden go in together. Now Deck. Hand it off to Foley. Sends it around to Heinzel. I want to talk about an elevated press box. We'll see one on Tuesday and Wednesday in Mississippi. That's a hike. I'm going to need to get some hiking shoes for that one. Maybe some ropes like I'm a rock climber. Get all the way up there to the Mississippi press box. It's a huge arena and a lot of stairs to go up. Prowlers offsides at the Motor City line. The faceoff will come to center, where Wynn and Merritt get set for it. Schumacher up to Merritt. Up the right wing side, he'll dump it in. Milam tried to play it up. Chartrand took it away. Picard tried the reverse pass. Blocked away by Milam. Picard just sends it over to the far side corner. Merritt tried to chop it on net. That goes off the stick of a Rocker defender and flies out of play. So the face-off will stay in Rockers territory. 10:14 left to go, opening period. Graham and Giuliano on the face-off. Giuliano wins it. Fields goes across to Rotundi. Parsons had that one slip through him. Giuliano in front as Delaney sent it there, and Giuliano couldn't find it, the cage. Puck rims around back to the far side. Fields trying to get it deep. And now Delaney had it stolen. Here's Freeborn off the boards and in. Graham after it. He'll negate the icing and chip it along for Jay. Right back to Graham, in front looking for Freeborn. Poked aside and out of the zone by Rotundi. Freeborn off the wall looking for Jones. That one sent back out. Now Johnson up to Freeborn. Goes up to Colton. Tried the lead pass on for Conway, who chips it in. He and Johnson after it. Now Jones touches it along for Sim. Fed out towards Alex Johnson. 9 minutes to go in the period. And Suffredini chases after it. Jones back at center. No curl, give to Johnson. Foley tips it in. Babin settles it down for his defenseman Suffredini. Deck was hustling to keep it in, he just didn't. Prowlers touch up as they're in the midst of a change. Sneath couldn't handle that pass, kind of handcuffed him a little bit. And now the Rockers try another breakout attempt. Soft dump in, Tim Delaney right on it. Heinzel takes the body and Merritt takes the puck. Merritt chips it out. Now it comes to Heinzel. Moved up the left wing side. Suffredini up to Wells. Little toe drag to Delaney and chipped in. Heinzel up towards Picard. That one touched away. And now Federley able to chip it into offensive territory. He'll head off for a change. Wells took a bump from Parsons coming across the middle of the ice. Now Wells dumps it in. Delayed offsides against the Rockers as they get some fresh bodies on the ice. The pass to Graham was out of his reach. It ends up sliding all the way to Babin. He'll cover it up for a whistle. We'll take a timeout. 7.5 to go in the opening period. And now Gaudette wants after Graham. We'll step aside. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers Hockey on the PHP Network. Back here at Big Boy Arena, 7.5 to go in the Munger Physical Therapy first period. And it's the Rockers with a 1-0 lead over the Port Huron Prowlers right now. The Prowlers get an offensive zone face-off, some rare offensive zone time for Port Huron so far tonight. Being outshot 8-3 right now. It's been a bit of a sloppy first period. Quick shot, and Babin got down to stop it. Jones back towards the net. Jay pulls it out of the pile. And I don't know how that one didn't go. Not sure if it hit the post or Milam or Babin. Puck pops out to Freeborn. Backhander. And that one kicked out by Babin. Best shift of the game so far for the Prowlers coming from their top line. But the Rockers able to get it out. Johnson cuts it off though. Graham will dangle right back in. Surrounded. Feeds it off to Jay from the outside. Rising shot. Caught by Babin with the blocker. And the Prowlers' top line putting in some work in the offensive end. Graham and Gaudette having some words and exchanging some shoves as both of them head back to their respective benches. Four shots on that shift just now for the Prowlers. As it comes to Parsons, his shot deflected to the corner. Fields picks it up, sends it over to the near side. Lambden had it taken away. Short train trying to move the other direction. Chipped ahead. Foley into the corner. Fields takes him in. They work on the near side. The arm comes up in the air, and I'll be honest, from our vantage point, we have absolutely no idea what went on in that corner. So we're just going to have to tell you who goes to the box, which is all we can see, and it's Ryan Rotundi heading to the penalty box, which we can see because the penalty boxes are on the far side. And it looks like after two coincidental penalties so far in this game, and 4 minutes of 4-on-4 already in this first period, we finally get our first power play, and it belongs to the Prowlers, who were 1 for 8 last night on the man advantage. 7th ranked power play in the FPHL at 20.9% against the 3rd ranked PK at 82.8%. Boarding is the penalty against Rotundi. Johnson, Merritt, Federley, Graham, and Jones. This power play unit is the Prowlers changing up some personnel, trying to get something to work on the power play that has struggled. And they'll have to chase. Federley over the red line, over the rocker blue, doing it all himself, he scores! Austin Federley, end-to-end power play goal, ties this one up. Austin Federley just kept skating and had some more room, and he kept skating again. What a goal from Austin Federley. He gets his 2nd of the year and knocks the score up at 1. He just kept going and kept going and kept going, and eventually found himself in front of Babin in a shooting position, and he beat him clean. And last night, Federley had an opportunity when he toe dragged through a couple of Rockers defenders. I'm not sure what the conversation is over at the penalty boxes, but it allows me to talk about this. He toe dragged through a couple of Rockers defenders and then lofted the puck over the net as he got in tight. And now Trevor Babin is receiving a penalty. But they say 4-on-4. So Makar Sokolov also receiving a penalty. The 272s are up there, and I could not tell you why. I mean, certainly possible that Babin said something and to the Prowlers. I'm not sure what Makar Sokolov may have done, and that's not me being biased. That's me saying that all the players were down in Babin's end and no one was down in Makar Sokolov's end. So if he said something, he must have said it pretty loud. Meanwhile, at center, Merritt and Wells are jawing, and now Tristan Wells has been given a slash, and Sam Merritt with a sly smile facing towards his bench. And it will be a 4-on-3 Prowlers power play just after tying the game up on the man advantage. Prowlers need to get one in the penalty box to serve Makar Sokolov's penalty. And Tristan Sim will go do that. I have no idea what's going on right now. But what I can tell you is that there are 2 minutes up on the board for both Babin and Sokolov, and then an extra 2 for Tristan Wells, which happened after the 2 original penalties were called when Wells and Merritt were jawing at center. Wells gave Merritt a little slash, and the referees were not having any of it. So the Prowlers back to the power play. This will be a 4-on-3 man advantage. And now they're taking off the penalties, and I think Paul Jean just teed somebody up on the Rockers bench. We are 14 minutes into this game, and it's already getting out of hand, although, of course, we've already had 2 games of Paul Jean and these 2 teams. And Jean, the only official to be a part of all 3 of these games. Brady Beaton and Ben Zalagi and I, the Rockers broadcasting crew, are just giving each other looks right now in the press box. Like, we don't know why anybody is getting penalties right now, and there's just numbers up on the board. All sorts of confusion. Now number 18 for Motor City, that's Tim Delaney, has his number up on the board. Nobody up on the Prowlers side now. They took down Babin and Sokolov from the scoreboard. Right now on my penalty sheet, on my live stats here, I see Sokolov and Babin for unsportsmanlike conduct and Wells for slashing. And you know what? I'm stumped. I am stumped. I'm not. The only penalty I can, I saw was the Wells slashing penalty. Elias Thompson now heading over to the box. It's a bit of a New Year's Eve party in the sin bin early on tonight. Finally, we dropped the puck. It's still a 1-1 hockey game, and it's a 5-on-3 for the Prowlers, and I'm basing that solely on the number of guys on the ice right now. Federley gets it in, and the Rockers bang it right back out. Prowlers will have the 5-on-3 for the full 2 minutes, unless, of course, they score. As Jones drops it back to Johnson, quick up to Graham. Enters offensive territory, pulls up, and drops it to the point to Jones. Prowlers set up the power play. It's Johnson. Over to Jones. Federley, one-time pass across the seam, and a good stick by Burt to knock it away, and he'll head to the bench. Jones up to Johnson, across to Federley, cycles it down, Graham, curling on Fields behind the net, up to Merritt, Johnson to Jones, the one-time blast, and that one wouldn't go. Johnson to Jones, gets it back, wrist shot, dribbles wide. I think that hit Conway's stick on the way through. 38 seconds on the 5-on-3. Federley's one-timer blocked. Merritt back to Federley. Johnson to Jones, touches it back across, but Milam stepped right into that, read it like a book, and he'll dump it back down ice. 20 seconds left in the 5-on-3 for the Prowlers. Elias Thompson picked up the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. That was the extra one at the end, and Babin covers that puck up. 8 seconds left in the 5-on-3. We'll take a timeout. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
Mac and cheese is up. Mac and cheese pizza? Mac and cheese pizza.
That's right, the new mac and cheese pizza from Hungry Howie's. Mac and cheese, mozzarella, panko breadcrumbs, and our famous flavored crust. Only for a limited time.
Hungry?
Howie's! 8 seconds left on the power play for the Prowlers. Graham, Johnson, and Jones sticking out there. Freeborn and Jay step out to replace Federley and Merritt. So we get set for another offensive zone draw for Port Huron. And off the faceoff, it's Rotundi, rimming it around. Jones keeps it. Now Johnson walks in. We're back to 5-on-5 in front. Jay stonewalled by Babin. Rockers looking to come out, but Fields was almost knocked down. Now he turns the puck over. Jay had a man right on him as he received that pass. He curls back looking for Jones. Handcuffed him on the pass, and that shot ended up hitting someone and dribbling right towards the crease before it's rescued. Freeborn back in, looking for Graham. Now Fields sliding through, got a piece of that puck. Delaney out to Gaudette. Knocked down, or Parsons was knocked down. Now Gaudette goes down to the ice. Prowlers have a 3-on-2 the other direction. All the way over for Jay. Tried to touch it towards Graham. He fanned on as the puck was hopping and skipping. Gaudette up to Colton. Now Giuliano dumps it around. Evan Foley up towards Sim. As Scantleberry going towards the net, tried to get it there. That was Picard, excuse me. I just saw the 5 on the jersey. Rockers the other way, and Parsons knocks down that pass neatly. It's fired the length of the ice, and icing called against the Prowlers. Defensive zone draw for the Prowlers. And Schumacher tries to take it around the net. Lambden right in on him. Conway tried to swing it out in front. Bounces to Suffredini. A drive goes wide. Puck comes over to the far side wall. And now Picard out. Foley's stick broke, so he had to drop it just as Picard was trying to send a pass over to him. Parsons up to Picard, and now on for Merritt. Dangles his way in. 5 Rockers back as they were making a change. Wells lost the handle. He gets it back. Heinzel has it back below his own goal line. Under 2 to play in the opening period. Burt stripped on the broken stick. Federley just sent it off the back glass wide. And Deck right back on net in the breadbasket of Trevor Babin. And he'll hang on for a whistle. Absolute chaos is ensuing in this game. We've just about seen it all. We've just about seen it all here in this opening period. Penalties that we weren't sure about, and looks like we're getting another timeout. We'll be right back. Well, we shouldn't have another TV timeout. We've already taken all of our TV timeouts for this first period, so I'm still not sure what's going on now, as we've apparently entered our 4th media timeout of the game. With 1:39 to go in the opening period, Roman Gaudette and Austin Federley, the goal scorers so far tonight, both goals unassisted. As Gaudette battled and just one-handed one through Makar Sokolov, and on the other end, Federley went end-to-end on a power play and beat Trevor Babin after dangling through all the Rockers defensemen. Prowlers have the last 7 shots on net. After it was all Rockers to start the game, Babin's made a couple of big saves. And now they'll get another offensive zone face-off. Graham and Giuliano to slide in. Milam over to Gaudet, up to Delaney, and his long-range shot stopped by Sokolov with ease with 90 seconds left in period 1. Graham will take the face-off against Giuliano again, this time to Sokolov's left. And Giuliano is kicked out. Gaudet will take it. One back by Gaudet. Freeborn tried to jump it, but had his stick tied up as he was trying to move the other direction. He's wondering why there wasn't a penalty on that. We had another face-off in Prowler territory. Port Huron switching everybody up. Face-off comes to Delaney. Walks around the face-off circle and shot it high from the goal line. Delaney out to Milam. Winds, draws a man down, and then he scores. I think that puck changed direction on the way through, but Milam on the fake shot drew a Prowler down, sent the wrister through, and he gives the Rockers a 2-1 lead. Right now, it's the 4th of the year for the 39-year-old Jamison Milam. And the Prowlers find themselves behind for the 2nd time in this period. Rotundi off the face-off, trying to play it out of his own end. Final minute of play in the opening period as the puck is battled for along the near side wall. Now Sneath skating in with it. Drop pass, one more, Conway scores! Perfectly played 3-on-2 by the Rockers. And now a fight ensuing by the net. As Landon and Deck were involved with each other, but 2 quick ones for Motor City. It's a 3-1 game. And Braden Deck is heading over to the penalty box. It's all falling apart here for the Prowlers. As that's 2 goals in 21 seconds for Motor City. And it looks like the Prowlers will now be shorthanded. What a wild period this has been. It was all Rockers to start, then the Prowlers took control for a while, and then here in these last few seconds, Rockers have scored twice, and now we'll get a power play. Chartrand and Sneath in the face-off circle. The Prowlers just trying to get it to the horn as Sokolov gathers that one in and covers up for the whistle. So it's Milam from Delaney and Gaudet, and then Conway from Sneath and Lambden. The 2 goals, 21 seconds apart. As TJ Delaney goes around the cage, up to Milam, D-to-D, win, steps in, his shot stopped by Sokolov. Rockers keeping it alive. Wynn has it again. 25 seconds to go in the period. Over to Milam. He walks. Wrist shot high. And bounces around towards DJ Delaney. Now to Milam. Winds. Fires. Deflected wide. Wynn, wrist shot. Deflected. And Sokolov just kicked out the right leg at the last moment. Rimmed all the way down, and that's going to do it for the first 20 minutes of play in this one. Penalties, goals, it's been a wild period, and teams head to the locker room with the Rockers up 3-1. Well, stick around for the first intermission report here on the PHP Network. We'll take a look back at the calendar year 2023 as we play this New Year's Eve game, our 2023 rewind. We'll take a look at some interesting storylines around the FBHL that came down today. We had a trade and a couple of interesting signings. And it's all coming up in our first intermission report. And it's all right here on the PHP Network. But once again, the Rockers with a 3-1 lead over the Port Huron Prowlers after one period of play. Shots favoring Motor City 12-10. As we get set for the first intermission from Big Boy Arena. Didn't get what you wanted for the holidays? No worries. The Prowlers team store has all your favorites. The store features hats, shirts, decorations, and more with new merch coming in all season long. Come find us on the west end of McMorran Arena at every home game, all season long, or online anytime at prowlersmerch.com. You can scan the QR code on your screen now to visit the online shop. Look your POHO best with gear from the Prowlers team store. 3-1 Motor City through 20 minutes. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
I've worked at Pioneer and now Corteva for 36 years. It goes by very quickly.
This is a pretty noble profession where you're giving back to humanity.
Curiosity is so important. I learn something new every day.
What's that next challenge that may occur for farmers? You do really feel like you've got an impact on what's coming.
I can see how we're making things better.
And we have the best solutions for our farmers. And I think we're here to feed and fuel the world. I'm proud to be part of that culture, and I'm proud to be part of the company.
Mac and cheese is up.
Mac and cheese pizza? Mac and cheese pizza.
That's right, the new mac and cheese pizza from Hungry Howie's. Mac and cheese, mozzarella, panko breadcrumbs, and our famous flavored crust. Only for a limited time.
Hungry
Howie's!
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
No, they're seriously not even that much better than you.
Should've just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it! I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com. There's just hours left in the calendar year 2023, and the Prowlers are playing in their 55th and final game of the year, including playoffs and exhibition. Before we flip the calendar to 2024, let's take a look back at the year that was 2023. Just rips it on. That was blocked by a Prowler. Federley with speed the other way. On the counter, here's Chartrand. Chartrand walks the middle, shoots, score! I'm not sure if that hit Matt Graham in front or not, but Dan Chartrand put the shot on. Prowlers have a 5-4 lead with 1:37 to go. Prowlers lead, and Tommy Cardinal has to score to continue it in round 5. Cardinal in on Hofflin. Cardinal poked away by Hofflin, and the Prowlers win it. Devaney back in, laid out Grant Mentis, and that's going to do it. The Port Huron Prowlers are headed to the 2023 Commissioners Cup playoffs. They defeat the Delaware Thunder 8-3 tonight. And for Brian Tolu, a victory in his pro hockey debut. Corrigan right behind Lord, trying to get that quick shot, but instead Lord wins it forward. Wolves working out in front, good save by Wallace, beating Corrigan, who was lined up on the back door. Kennedy cut it off. He'll clear it, but only as far as Freeborn at the red line. Sauces it on for Scantleberry. He shoots, he scores! The hat trick for Tucker Scantleberry! A natural hat trick, and the Prowlers have the lead. They have Anderson out there along with, looks like Sim, Williams, Stoya, and DeCumbus. DeCumbus playing over in that right point position. Here's Stoya, walks to the top, scored plenty of power play goals. Last year they score! It's Tristan Sim wristing it through traffic. Prowlers knotted up on the power play. Over to Federley, 20 seconds left on the power play. Federley takes the shot, rises high, sits there in the crease, and they score! Vinny DeCumbus puts the OT winner. Prowlers win! That is a season high. As Freeborn feeds it across, Johnson has space. He scores! The cherry on top for Alex Johnson as he quiets the crowd. 5-1 Port Huron with 1:16 to go in the third. DeCumbus looking for Picard. It's cut off by Milam. Braden Deck dangling through center. Puck just slides into offensive territory. Graham with it. Saved by Gonzalez. The rebound. He scores! Matt Graham with his second of the period. And the Prowlers have come all the way back to take a 5-4 lead with 4.5 to play. Gets it down deep to Graham. Back to Federley. To Johnson. Federley cross Jones. One-timer. He scores! Welcome to Port Huron. Mitch Jones, overtime winner. And that takes us to now, the final game of 2023, as the Prowlers look to dispatch the rival Rockers in enemy territory for the second straight New Year's Eve. Then they'll flip the calendar and have another shot at the Commissioner's Cup, plus get set to celebrate their 10th season as a franchise in 2024. But before that, stay tuned on the PHP Network for second period action.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
They're seriously not even that much better than you.
Should've just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it!
I should've just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com. First intermission wrapping up here from Big Boy Arena. It's a 3-1 Motor City lead. Will Wiggleman back with you on the PHP Network. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Before we look back at that opening period, let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Only one other game in action right now of the 4 total tonight in the league, including this one, and it's the Elmira River Sharks with a 2-1 lead on the Watertown Wolves as the battle for 4th place in the Empire Division continues. Davide Gaeta and Larry Vartiainen have the goals for Elmira. Trevor Lord, the one for Watertown. Coming up later at 5 p.m., Danbury and Binghamton will battle in Binghamton after Danbury's come from behind win last night. And then Columbus and Carolina will finish their 3-3 at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Annex. That puck drop scheduled for 8:35 p.m. Taking a look at some storylines around the FPHL today, and one of them including the Danbury hat tricks, as Kyle Heitzner was traded to Danbury from Baton Rouge in exchange for future considerations. Tyler Jurich, the head coach of the Elmira River Sharks, is signing a deal to play with the Sharks again. He already signed a celebrity contract, which we had this same discussion when MJ Markle signed with Elmira. Both of them signed celebrity deals and then later on signed regular contracts with the River Sharks. I thought the rule was that once you sign a celebrity contract, you're not allowed to sign and play again in that season, but apparently I was mistaken on the rule, and obviously tonight is one of those nights where I really don't know what's going on, as we saw in the first period. One more thing is Victor Grebenikov signing with Carolina. He's played 5 FPHL seasons, all with the Thunderbirds. Carolina was shorthanded last night in Columbus, or the other night in Columbus, and just trying to fill out some bodies in the lineup. Prowlers will see them next weekend. Taking a look back at tonight's game, it's 3-1 Motor City. Rockers with the shots advantage of 14-10, and Prowlers are 1 for 3 on the man advantage. The Rockers, no power play goals yet, but they'll have some power play time to begin this second period when we drop the puck on it, as Braden Deck has to go back and sit in the box. Before we get started, though, with the second period, take a look at our PHP Network trivia question for tonight. And it includes Matt Graham, who's playing in his 300th game as a Prowler. It's the franchise record for games played, but he has not played the most seasons for the Port Huron Prowlers. Who has played in the most different seasons for Port Huron in their history? Put your answer in the comment section, and we'll give you the correct answer coming up at the start of the third period. Trevor Babbitt in the goal crease to our left. He made 9 saves on 10 Prowler shots in the opening period. Makar Sokolov in the goal crease to our right. 11 saves on 14 Rocker shots. Minute 12 of power play time for Motor City, as we are now underway. Milam gets around Merritt and heads up ice. Into offensive territory, he'll rim it all the way around for TJ Delaney. Now Milam winds, fires! Blockered away by Sokolov. Win on the near side, gives it to Sneath, walks in. Had to make a move as Alex Johnson went down to block his shot. That's about the spot where Sneath scored the game-winning goal on the power play last night. There's Milam stepping out. He switches spots with Wynn and gives him the puck. Comes back up to Wynn with 22 on the power play. Knocked down in front, they score! It's Sneath right on the spot for the rebound. A power play goal for Motor City. And they extend the lead to 4-1. TJ Sneath, a power play specialist for Motor City this year. 7th goal of the year, 5th on the power play in just his 8th game since being signed by the Rockers. So the Prowlers now find themselves in a 4-1 hole, the same score that they found themselves in at the start of the third period. Last time they were here, here's Jay back in. And he couldn't get a shot away and couldn't find the puck to Freeborn either. This was the score of the game when the Prowlers and Rockers entered the third period. Last time they were in this building. When Trevor Babin had to come out, Ricky Gonzalez came in. The Prowlers scored 4 unanswered in the final 20 minutes to steal the win. They have a little bit more time to mount a comeback in this one, but they'll have to get started soon. As Parsons wrists one through off a stick, and it flies out of play. It's TJ Sneath from TJ Delaney and Jamison Milam. The opening goal of this second period. Now make it 4 Rockers with multiple points. Sneath, Gaudet, Delaney, and Milam. Delaney has 2 assists, the other 3 a goal and an assist apiece. There is Milam, giving it out to Tim Delaney. Wells on the near side, now Delaney again. And Foley went sliding into the post and knocks the net off its moorings. So we'll get a face-off to Makar Sokolov's left. That goal from TJ Sneath coming on the power play 55 seconds into this period. Milam's drive right into Sokolov's chest, and Wells and Deck will get a couple extra pushes in after that whistle. Both teams switching up the skaters on the ice, as the faceoff will now come over to the far side. With Giuliano getting set to draw against Austin Federley. Jones plays it around in Chartrand's direction. Gives it up to Merritt, has Federley going towards the net, sent it there, but right into the catching glove of Trevor Babin, who will hang on for a whistle, and some more hugging going on behind the net. And now Merritt and Delaney getting into it a little bit. Merritt has a hold of TJ Delaney in the slot. Gaudet will head to the penalty box. And Chartrand and Babin having a discussion with a linesman in the middle. Looks like Gaudet will be the only one getting a penalty, so the Prowlers will go back to the power play, 1 for 3 so far tonight. And those 2 that they were unsuccessful on were a full length, or was a full length 5-on-3. So those were 2 penalties at the same time. I guess referees felt they couldn't control the game by taking coincidentals. So instead they'll just take 1 as Jones sent it towards the net and sends it wide. That's sometimes where you have to get to if you're a referee, is to take 1 as Sim from the goal line. That one pops out of play into the Prowler bench. But sometimes if the players won't stop the pushing and shoving between whistles, you take 1 and that one will actually hurt your team instead of the coincidentals, which just sits you and a player on the other team in the box. It doesn't really do too much, but it can send the message that players are going to start hurting their teams by participating in the extracurriculars after whistles. Maybe we'll see it slow down or even stop. Sneath working out. I don't think we'll see it stop completely. There's certainly too much animosity between these 2 teams. And you see a little subtle play there with the stick by Austin Federley, a veteran move. And Sneath tripped over his stick a little bit. And Sneath wants a word with Federley as Federley heads back to the bench, and Sneath heads out for the faceoff. Prowlers send out 5 forwards for this defensive zone draw. It's Scantlebury, Freeborn, Merritt, Picard, and Jay. Merritt sends Scantlebury in off his skate. Chop back out all the way down. 50 seconds gone in the penalty to Roman Gaudet. Freeborn up towards Merritt. He'll try and skate along. It's dumped in on Babin. Steers it to the corner. Prowlers set up. Picard down to Jay. Right back to Brandon Picard. Jay again, they switch spots. Over to Scantlebury. Now Freeborn, right back. Winds. And couldn't get the shot away as Lambden was right on top of him. To a side scrum in the corner. And now 3 Prowlers in there against 1 Rocker. Port Huron able to pull it out. Here's Merritt from the corner, curling on Colton with 20 seconds left in the power play. Colton steals the puck, he rims it out, and it goes all the way back to Prowler ice. That should take care of the rest of the penalty to Gaudet. As Freeborn skates it up himself. We're back to 5-on-5, and a steal at the Rockers' blue line. Gaudet out of the box, stopped, and then they score on the rebound. It's Giuliano following up the play. And Jonathan Giuliano makes it 5-1 for Motor City. Looks like the Prowlers have called their timeout as Giuliano picks up his 7th of the year, his 2nd goal of this weekend series. Makar Sokolov looks like he'll head to the bench. His night is over, and Ian Wallace, who played all 60-plus minutes of the first game of this weekend, all 60 minutes last night, he'll slide in. A tough one for Sokolov. Not much he can do on a couple of those goals. He's pulled after just 24 minutes and 14 seconds. First time this season the Prowlers have had a netminder not finish the game. Giuliano and Graham in on the faceoff, and Graham wins it back. Schumacher over to Parsons. He dumps it out. It's Burt to Gaudet. Gets in, curls back. Cycles it towards Delaney. See if the Prowlers can get some kind of spark here after the goalie pull. Trailing by 4 goals. We're not 5 minutes into the second period. Up to the point, it comes to Parsons. Now to Schumacher, walks in, his shot caught Lambden in the skate, a little bit painfully. Now Jay towards the front of the net, and Graham couldn't touch that one home. Conway on the outside, goes all the way around, and he scores on the wraparound. And now Federley and Lambden are going at it, as Lambden crashed into Wallace. That gave Conway the ability to get the wraparound. I'm sure the Prowlers are not happy if this one's called a good goal. And Austin Federley dropping the mitts with Cade Lambden. And we'll see if this one stands up as a goal as Federley goes to the box. So will Lambden. Referees are going to talk. And Austin Federley getting his equipment delivered to him by his teammates. Goal has not been put up on the big board here yet. We'll see if they do. The puck is currently sitting in the face-off dot to Ian Wallace's right, which leads me to believe that that's where the face-off will be. But the players are lining up at center. And it looks like this one will be called a good goal because they pick up the puck, maybe. I'm going to stop guessing. Paul Jean chatting with Jamison Milam and Frank Schumacher. It will stay 5-on-5. And it looks like the goal will count. So 6-1 our score, 14:49 left to go in the middle period. Declan Conway unassisted officially. And this one has gotten really out of hand for the Prowlers. Deck wrists it through, it's blocked. Picard left it for Merritt, pass across, couldn't find Chartrand. And now lifted out to center, glove down by Deck. He'll dump it in. Missed the net wide on Babin. Fields, lead pass towards Giuliano. Now Delaney at the Prowlers blue line, feeds Gaudet, has a chance, and it's fought off by Wallace. Whistles blow as the net came off. We'll take a timeout, our first media timeout of this second period. And the Rockers have already scored 3 in the frame. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers Hockey on the PHP Network.
I'm proud to serve farmers because everything they do matters.
If I could choose one word to describe a farmer, I would say essential.
Dedicated.
Enterprising.
The most creative people.
They're providing food for the rest of the world.
Some of the qualities I look for when hiring is personality, perseverance, someone that's determined. We want to be able to hire someone that understands what we're supporting, and ultimately that's the grower.
Come fill McMorran Place at every Prowlers home game this season. General admission tickets are just $15 with discounts available for seniors, military, students, and children under 12. Upgrade your experience in one of our suites, or bring the whole squad to the game with discounts for groups of 10 or more. Find your best option to visit the Thumb Coast professional hockey team by visiting phprowlers.com and find the tickets tab, or call the box office at 810-985-6166. Secure your seats today. 13:55 to go in the second period. This one is a rout already, 6-1 in favor of the Motor City Rockers. Scantlebury turns it over to the near side. Foley couldn't dump it in. Now the Prowlers get it deep, but they're offside, delayed offsides situation, so the Rockers will get a free zone exit. Milam dumps it in, knocked down by Deck. Wynn trying to skate into it. And now over on the near side, and once again the net comes off. I don't even know if Wallace touched the net that time. Wallace just with a soft slide from right to left, and I think they need to check the pegs here at Big Boy Arena. And of course, Ian Wallace is usually accused of knocking the pegs off, but that one just a very soft slide from right to left. Sneath and Foley will take this face-off. Sneath kicks up to his stick, got a shot away. That's gloved by Wallace, and now Elias Thompson causing some trouble. And Thompson, who played just over a minute on Friday, according to Instat. And then I didn't even see him on the ice last night. Now he'll get an opportunity with Motor City up by 5, causing himself a little bit of trouble deep in Prowler territory. Conway tried to get it back towards the net. In front, Conway again, big save by Wallace. And Ian Wallace coming up with a difficult one there. Prowlers continue to be unable to get out of their own zone. Matt Graham leans in for the faceoff. No face-off against TJ Sneath. Puck comes to the wall. It's rimmed around this side. Colton there. Fed it deep. Puck along the near side boards. Comes across. Wrist shot blocked off the stick of Sneath. And now Jay moves the other way. Prowlers joining him in numbers. But Jay's pass blocked by Supradini. They dig away in the near side corner. As Jones at the point gives to Johnson right back. Touched along deep. Now Elias Thompson working on Johnson. He'll drop it off to Sneath. His shot caught the back glass. Not sure if Wallace got a piece. And they'll blow it again. Trevor Babin wants a penalty against Ian Wallace, banging his stick down at the other end. You just see how easily the linesman was able to push that net off right there as he was going to fix the pegs. Very little effort. And Matt Graham talking to Paul Jean. And now Graham is going to be sent to the box, and Paul Jean has given him a misconduct. Just added on. They put 2 up on the board, but it's supposed to be a 10 against Matt Graham. He'll just get the 10, so we'll stay 5 on 5. 12:18 left to go in the Hungry Howie's second period. Johnson fires that one all the way down. He's iced the puck, but Babin plays it. Johnson thought it may have been, thought his team was short-handed, but because it popped up on the board momentarily, but it's not the case. Luckily for Johnson, Babin came out to play it, so we continue going. Rotundi leaves it for Giuliano. And now up to Ryan Rotundi. Touched along. Fields couldn't kick it further. Now Devon Fields fed it up. Johnson off the glass and in. DJ Delaney over to Gaudet. Dumps it around Stopped by Wallace behind the net to Brian Parsons. Suffredini up towards Conway. Parsons turned it back the other way. Lofted into Prowler territory. Wallace will hop on top of it with the glove and get a whistle. 11:06 to go in period number 2 of a 5-goal game here at Big Boy Arena. As things have gone from bad to worse for the Prowlers in this game, they're being outshot 10-3 in this second period. The Rockers have scored 3 times in this frame. And since the Prowlers tied it up way back in the first, 5 unanswered for Motor City. Faceoff will come to Wallace's right as Wynn gets set to draw with Evan Foley. Braden Deck around behind the net. Backhands it out. And Burt right on it. Over to Milam. It's touched on for Mike Wynn. In, and his shot clutched the chest by Ian Wallace. After this, the Prowlers have to head right on the bus to head down to Mississippi. No rest for Port Huron. And maybe that's a good thing that they play on Tuesday. Not too much time to sit there and think about this game. Again, we're not even halfway through the game. As Gaudet flying around the zone, doing anything he wants by the center. And the whistle blew before the shot came down. And I think this time they'll give the 2 minutes to Ian Wallace in a power play coming from Motor City. They have Evan Foley in the box. Austin Federley also going to join him. So actually it's Foley up there. Well, now Ian Wallace's name is on my penalty sheet here. I'm not sure why Federley has joined Foley in the box. And Graham as well still in there. But consider that par for the course, having no idea what is going on with the penalty boxes tonight. If you saw the first period, you'd know what I'm talking about. As Sneath tried to fire a pass across, that hit Merritt. Wynn sent it on net and corralled by Ian Wallace. He'll get a whistle, and we'll take a break. 9:53 to go in the second. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network. Back here at Big Boy Arena, I've just figured out why Austin Federley is in the box again. And that's because they let him out too early after his fight with Cade Lambden. Lambden stepped out of the box during that TV timeout. Now they're putting him back in there. I have nothing anymore. There's just been so much chaos involving penalties in the penalty boxes tonight, even away from the Rockers with their 6-1 lead. It's just been one of those games. We expected something of a sloppy game tonight, with both teams playing their third game in 3 nights and dropping the puck 16 hours after the final buzzer last night. We didn't expect all the sloppiness and confusion coming from the other portion of the score sheet, not the goals portion, as Schumacher dumps that one all the way down. Supperdini had it taken away. Here's Picard alone, he scores! Shorthanded goal for Brandon Picard. That will give the Prowlers a little bit of life as they get themselves within 4. It's a 6-2 game now. Team high 12th of the year for Picard. He does it short-handed, his first shorty of the year. Off the steal, he beats Babin clean. How about another unassisted goal in this one? We've already had a few. And Parsons clears it all the way down. Picard right back after it. And he takes it away from Babin, who was trying to move it up the wall. The Rockers get it right back. Sneath with 20 left in the power play for Motor City. Rims it around to TJ Delaney. And Parsons fires at the length of the ice. That should take care of the final seconds of the penalty to Wallace, being served by Evan Foley. As we're back to 5-on-5. Wynn drops it for Gaudet. Giuliano faked the drive. Goes all the way around, tried the wrap, and Parsons got a piece of it, and then the second opportunity went high. Deck trying to start a counterattack. He'll dump it in. And Rotundi gets to it first. Foley fed it all the way across. Now Schumacher touches it deep. Rotundi has some trouble with it, comes over to Jay, but he mishandled the puck as well, couldn't pull the trigger. Now he does, juggled and held by Trevor Babin. Prowlers causing a little bit of havoc. There in the offensive zone. Dalton Jay just couldn't get that puck to settle down to rip it after Freeborn created the turnover. Picard's goal, the third unassisted goal in this game. Jones wrists one on, stopped by Babin. The rebound chopped and stopped by Babin. I thought it was going to be the fourth as Johnson feeds it over to Jones. His shot caught the glass. They did add an assist to the opening goal, though. That belongs to Roman Gaudet, and they gave it to Giuliano. Gave him the assist to the opening goal. That one was originally unassisted. But either way, the third unassisted goal now of this game belonged to Brandon Picard. Wrist shot through, score! But they wave it off immediately as Scantlebury and Rotundi were tangled up. Now Scantlebury and Babin getting into it a little bit. Scantlebury still down on the ice. Babin has Scantlebury's helmet in his blocker hand. Linesman just trying to get in between as Jones sent the shot through with Rotundi and Scantlebury down on the ice. Babin has tossed Scantlebury's helmet, and Paul Jean is going to give him the point. And I think that's a penalty against Trevor Babin. Scantlebury to the box. The goal waved off immediately. We'll see who else joins him. Wells is going over to the Rockers penalty box. Evan Foley, the Prowlers captain, chatting with Paul Jean over by the referee circle. Nothing has been put up on the big board as of yet. Prowlers have sent out what looks like part of a power play unit. They have 4 out there, so maybe we have a 4-on-4 situation. Merritt, Freeborn, Johnson, and Jones out there for Port Huron right now, getting set for this face-off, it looks like. Rockers sending out 4 as well. Actually, it will be a 5-on-4 power play for the Prowlers. And that is the indication from Paul Jean, the referee. They're standing at the red line. As I'm trying to read his lips from up here. Cam Burt heads over to serve. So looks like Wells and Scantlebury got matching penalties, and then Burt will go serve the 2 for Trevor Babin. So Prowlers power play with 7:04 to go in the second. And Picard touches it to Freeborn. I don't even have to say what I'm thinking about the penalties right now and all the confusion, because I've already reiterated it a number of times. Freeborn fires one deflected high. Out high, back to Freeborn. Over to Jay on the near side. His shot right into the catching glove of Trevor Babin, and he'll hang on for a whistle. So Babin actually got 2 penalties, one served by Wells, one served by Burt, and Scantlebury got 1. So my apologies to Tristan Wells, as he will not get 2 minutes added to his penalty total for the season. Roughing and unsportsmanlike conduct to Babin and unsportsmanlike conduct to Scantlebury, as the Prowlers step in off sides. Minute 16 left to go on this quality power play. Prowlers have struck once already on the man advantage. 1 power play goal, 1 shorthanded goal for Port Huron tonight. Rockers have scored 5 of their 6 at even strength. They have 1 power play goal. Johnson up to Federley. They'll send it this way for Jones. Pops up in the air. And the puck couldn't be kept in at the Rocker blue line. Prowlers touch up, and Sim back in, has space, gives it down to Jones. Backhander! Blocker save by Babin. Freeborn, or Federley to Sim, gets it back. Federley walks the line, lots of traffic in front. Jones the one-time blast, and Babin got down to make that save. Federley again with 29 on the power play. Gets it to Jones. Federley, one-timer. That goes wide off the back wall. Schumacher got a chance that Babin's able to stop. 15 seconds on the power play. Touch to Johnson. All the way across. That hit a skate. Now Jones in deep, his wrist shot eaten up by Babin, and he'll hang on for a whistle. 5 seconds left on the Prowlers power play. Blocker save by Babin on the big shot from Jones. That's the big one there. Couple of good ones for Port Huron. Good opportunities at least. 3 shots on this power play, all belonging to Mitch Jones. He's on the bench. And off the face-off, TJ Delaney dumps it in and heads after it. We're back to 5-on-5. Delaney let it out in front. Only comes to Chartrand. Prowlers have numbers the other way. Chartrand had it knocked off his stick by Milam, who's down on the ice, able to do all he can to give his team time to come back and take the puck. Looks like Merritt took maybe a stick up high. Milam dumps the puck in. Moved up the near side wall, now comes to the middle, backhander by Sneath, rose high. Sneath tried to feed it back out in front. And now Chartrand the other direction. He'll dump it softly in. After it is Fields. Took a hit from Foley. Rink wide feed finds Sneath. Now looking for Lambden. Wallace out to cover it, and Heinzel and Lambden go in hard together. And that will draw a crowd. We'll take another timeout with 3:58 to go in the second period. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
Mac and cheese is up.
Mac and cheese pizza? Mac and cheese pizza.
That's right, the new mac and cheese pizza from Hungry Howie's. Mac and cheese, mozzarella, panko breadcrumbs, and our famous flavored crust. Only for a limited time.
Hungry
Howie's! Back here at Big Boy Arena, 3:58 to go in period number 2. And it's 6-2 in favor of the home side Motor City Rockers. Will Wiggleman with you on the PHP Network. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Another Battle of I-94 game, and while most of them have been close, this one a little bit out of hand. Rockers won here 7-1 earlier this season. That was really the only other not tight game between these teams this season. It looks like this one's headed in that direction unless the Prowlers can put a few more on the board. They had the last one, shorthanded goal by Brandon Picard, but Port Huron unsuccessful on their recent power play. And Wallace scoops that puck up for another whistle. They got 3 shots. Again, all at the stick of Mitch Jones on that man advantage. Still being outshot 26-19 for the game, 12-9 here in the period. Loose puck sits there and Freeborn finds it. Able to get it out, but Fields sends it right back into Prowler ice. Behind the net, it's Elias Thompson taken in by Heinzel to the wall. Schumacher up to Freeborn. Works his way through center, and he'll dump it in. Heinzel after it. Rotundi tried to play it. Got a rough ride from the Czech defenseman for the Prowlers. Heinzel took a stick up high, and he went down behind the net. And it looks like the Prowlers will go right back to the power play. So Adam Heinzel in hard on the forecheck. He's still down behind the net, checking his chicklets. As Rotundi will sit for 2. At least 2. We'll see if it's 2 or 4. And it is 2 minutes they have up on the board, so minor penalty for high sticking, and the parade to the penalty box continues. That makes it 50 combined penalty minutes between these two teams tonight. Austin Federley set to take the draw against Giuliano. It bounces around to TJ Delaney, but his clearing attempt off of Jones. Prowlers right back in. Johnson plays it off the back wall. That one clapped all the way down by Dante Saffredini. Prowlers will have to chase. 25 seconds gone in the power play. Sim over to Johnson. Bounce back to Federley. Prowlers set up. Jones, a wide one up, and he scores! A blast from Mitch Jones beats Babin. That one will count. A power play goal for the Prowlers, and they're within 3. Third goal in 3 games for Mitch Jones, second on the power play. That was an absolute laser. Through a little bit of traffic, caught the top corner over Babin's blocker's side. And we have a 3-goal game. So maybe a little bit of a game here again after this one was looking like a rout early on in this period. Tristan Sim will pick up the only assist on that goal, and that's Sim's first assist of his pro career to go along with 6 goals this season. Milam plays it back to Burt, goes D to D. Giuliano lifts it out. Schumacher blocked it. Gaudet up the near side. It comes through. It's Giuliano in the corner. Prowlers able to steal it away. Now working it out is Sim. With Picard going to the net, Sim played it right off of Gaudet's leg. Now it's Frank Schumacher. Got it stolen by Delaney. Giuliano, big save from Ian Wallace coming all the way out to cut down the angle. Parsons right back in. He'll dump it around. Milam rims it up the wall. Johnson has control at the point. He'll bump it back deep. So now Saffredini lofted that one out of play, but they'll say it was deflected. Get a whistle. Matt Graham steps back out of the penalty box after serving his 10-minute misconduct. And we'll take a timeout. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
Mac and cheese is up.
Mac and cheese pizza? Mac and cheese pizza.
That's right, the new mac and cheese pizza from Hungry Howie's. Mac and cheese, mozzarella, panko breadcrumbs, and our famous flavored crust. Only for a limited time.
Hungry
Howie's! Minute 36 to go in period number 2 here from Big Boy Arena. Will Wiggleman back with you on the PHP Network. Thanks so much for sticking around with us on this New Year's Eve. Prowlers had the last 2 in this game to and off the face-off, Johnson wrists it down deep, looking for Jones, who's crashing the back post. Lambden moves the other direction. Couldn't dangle through Alex Johnson. He ended up tripping up the Prowlers defenseman. Johnson back to his skates. Meanwhile, the Rockers trying to bounce it out of their own end. Rotundi after it in his own territory. He'll curl away from Graham and backhand it out. Puck bounces all the way down, short of the icing line, as we hit the final minute to go in the second. Johnson's clearing attempt was cut off. Conway got an outside shot that Wallace is able to hang on to for a whistle. So defensive zone faceoff coming for the Prowlers, as Wallace will check his mask. That shot caught him a little bit high. 49.7 seconds to go in this period. And really the big concern for the Prowlers was the first 5 or so minutes of this second period. That's where the Rockers scored 3 straight and turned a 3-1 game into a 6-1 game. Prowlers have gotten the last 2 to make it 6-3, but certainly still a big uphill climb coming in these final 20 minutes as Supperdini hustles back after it, turns it up ice, and Delaney dumps it in right on Wallace. He'll play it off to Schumacher. One last rush for the Prowlers, but they couldn't connect on the pass. And maybe now they'll still have time for one last one. Off the glass, comes all the way down. I think Parsons has iced the puck, and he has. 3.1 up on the clock. And the Rockers will get an offensive zone faceoff. Hopefully for the Prowlers, that doesn't come back to bite them and ruin the momentum that they've been able to build just a little bit here in the last few minutes of the period. Tristan Sim will take the faceoff against Jonathan Giuliano. It's tied up there, comes to the wall, and no shot coming. And after 40 minutes of play, it is a 3-goal lead for Motor City after the Rockers had a 2-goal lead through 20 minutes. But it's not exactly that simple, as the Rockers scored the first 3. And now Babin going after Tucker Scantlebury. And Babin has sent Scantlebury to the ice. And more chatting going on in front of the Prowlers tunnel. You can't see it though because someone is standing in front of our camera, which happens here at Big Boy Arena because the press box is so low. Hopefully that is the end of everything going on in this second period. Both teams heading to their locker rooms. The score at 6-3 Motor City. Rockers got the first 3, Prowlers got the last 2. And it's a 3-goal Rockers lead heading into the third. Coming up in our second intermission, we'll talk about the game so far, and we'll take a look at the Prowlers' upcoming schedule, the out-of-town scoreboard, and more. It's all coming up on the second intermission report here on the PHP Network. Shots on goal in that middle period favoring the Rockers 15-10. Motor City up 29-20 in shots on goal for the game. But once again, it is a 6-3 lead for Motor City. Secure your seats for the Prowlers' next home game on Friday, January 12th, when they host the Watertown Wolves, with puck drop at McMorran Place scheduled for 7:05 p.m. Tickets are available online at phprowlers.com/tickets, by phone at 810-985-6166, or by scanning the QR code on your screen now. That's online at phprowlers.com/tickets, by phone at 810-985-6166, or scan that QR code on your screen now to experience Prowlers hockey live and in person at the Old Barn McMorran Place, the way it was meant to be enjoyed. Second intermission underway here at Big Boy Arena. We'll take a break. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
I've worked at Pioneer and now Corteva for 36 years. It goes by very quickly.
This is a pretty noble profession where you're giving back to humanity.
Curiosity is so important. I learn something new every day.
What's that next challenge that may occur for farmers? You do really feel like you've got an impact on what's coming.
I can see how we're making things better.
And we have the best solutions for our farmers. And I think we're here to feed and fuel the world. I'm proud to be part of that culture, and I'm proud to be part of the company.
Mac and cheese is up.
Mac and cheese pizza? Mac and cheese pizza.
That's right, the new mac and cheese pizza from Hungry Howie's. Mac and cheese, mozzarella, panko breadcrumbs, and our famous flavored crust. Only for a limited time.
Hungry
Howie's!
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
seriously not even that much better than you.
Should've just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com. Back here at Big Boy Arena, second intermission rolling on here, and it is 6-3 in favor of the Motor City Rockers. Will Wiggleman back with you on the PHP Network and trying to do my best to talk through whatever the heck we've been seeing through these first 40 minutes of play. And, you know, goals aside and the scoreboard aside, it's the absolute slew of penalties, the parade to the penalty box, and not only that, just so much confusion on penalties, at least from all the way up here. And I say all the way up as if we're very high up. We're lower down than concourse level probably at McMorran Place. So we're not actually all that high up, and yet I still have no idea what the penalties are half the time. I've been talking to the Motor City broadcast crew. They don't really know what's going on half the time either. So it's not just me. We're having extra media timeouts throughout this game. It's just been an absolute mess all the way around. And we have more penalties to tell you about at the end of that period. The scrum involving Tucker Scantlebury and Trevor Babin. Babin gets 2 minutes for roughing and 2 minutes for goalie leaving the crease. Scantlebury gets 2 for embellishment. So I believe that means the Prowlers will begin the third period on a quality power play, trailing by 3. And they'll try and climb back into this game. And you know, really the real tough stretch for the Prowlers came in the first 5 or so minutes of that second period. I'm not saying they played a great game otherwise, but that's really where it fell apart. And they fell down 6-1 in those first 5 minutes of the period after Motor City scored 3 times. And they were able to get a couple back. Brandon Picard, Mitch Jones scoring, but no 5-on-5 goals in this game for Port Huron. And that's certainly an issue that you get when you look at the scores, when you look at the score sheet and the box score and all of that, which we will coming up later in the intermission. So that's one big issue for the Prowlers, and another one, of course, the shots department, 29-20. They're trailing in shots, but it's just been a rough game all around for the Port Huron Prowlers as they try and salvage this game here. And they're only down by 3, which was the score they were trailing by the last time they were in this building. That was a 4-1 score going into the third period, and the Prowlers came all the way back, but they were facing a cold goaltender in that third period in Ricky Gonzalez. They were able to take advantage of that. They will have a power play, though, to start this third period, and once these final minutes tick down, Prowlers will be heading on the bus, and they'll be heading out to Mississippi, and we'll talk a little bit more about that on the other side. We'll be right back right here on the PHP Network.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
They're seriously not even that much better than you.
Should've just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it! I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com. Second intermission wrapping up here from Big Boy Arena. And it's a 6-3 lead for the Motor City Rockers. Will Wiggleman back with you once again on the PHP Network. And before we continue to look back at this game and look ahead at the Prowlers' upcoming schedule, we take a look around the league at the out-of-town scoreboard. One game in action right now, and it's the Elmira River Sharks with a 3-2 lead on the Watertown Wolves. Trevor Lord has 2 for Watertown. Tyler Jurich has 1 for Elmira, the head coach who was signed today despite already having played this season with a celebrity contract, which I thought you weren't allowed to do, but then again, we've been doing a lot of things recently that I thought you weren't allowed to do, so why not add to it? This has been a crazy game tonight, that plenty of confusion about the refereeing and the penalties and who's supposed to be in the box, who's not, all of that going on tonight, so why not add a little bit more confusion there? 3-2 Elmira as they play in the third. So taking a look at the upcoming schedule, the Mississippi Seawolves are up next on the calendar for the Prowlers as they travel down there Tuesday and Wednesday. They'll have to get right on the bus after this game to head down to Biloxi, and then Friday and Saturday they will be in Winston-Salem, North Carolina for a pair of games. We'll have all 4 of those for you right here on the PHP Network, so stay up to date with your Prowlers as they hit the road. Really the last long road trip for Port Huron this season. They have a couple of weekends here and there through the rest of the way where they're on the road, but this is the first time that they'll face the last time, they'll face 2 different teams in back-to-back road games, not counting these Motor City Rockers, which, let's be honest, these games here at Big Boy Arena are kind of like pseudo-home games for the Prowlers. You get plenty of the Prowlers faithful coming out. Prowlers get to sleep in their own beds, skate on their own ice at morning skate, if they have morning skate, but not too much bus time left for the Prowlers after this week, but it will be certainly a slog of a week after what has been a slog of a game here at Big Boy Arena. And it's just been an absolute craziness here at Big Boy Arena. I don't even know how else to describe it. Just going to put some numbers up on the screen for you, and you decide what they all mean. I'm not sure. 29 penalty minutes for the Prowlers, 27 for the Rockers. 6-3 Motor City is the score. Rockers up on shots 29-20, but once again, the Prowlers' penalty kill is putting themselves in a tough position. Rockers have scored on 2 of their 3 man advantage opportunities tonight. And that's a big number, because if they score on just one of those, or even if the Prowlers are able to kill off both, it's a 1 or 2 goal game, and this game looks a lot different if the penalty kill is able to at least bat at an over 50% percentage tonight. 2 Rockers have 3 points. Jameson Milam and Roman Gaudet, a goal and 2 assists apiece. But the Prowlers' 10th ranked penalty kill in the FPHL, actually now dead last in the FPHL again, after they were moved up to 10th last night, but came right back down after last night's game. Working at 69.4% coming into this one. And that's probably going to drop a little bit more unless they can kill off some penalties here in period number 3. But they won't have to kill to start the period, as they'll be on a power play. But before we do get to that and begin the 3rd period, take a look again at our PHP Network trivia question. As playing in his 300th game as a Prowler tonight, Matt Graham holds the franchise record for games played with the team. But who has played the most seasons for the Port Huron Prowlers? And if you guessed Austin Federley, you are correct, as Federley has played in 8 different seasons for Port Huron, the longest tenured Prowler. But he's spent some time in the SPHL in his career, and his first 2 seasons when he was just breaking into the league, he played very sparingly, just a few games in each of his first 2 seasons. But you see him out there to begin this power play for the Prowlers in the 3rd period. And in case you're just coming back to your TVs or computer screens, right at the end of that 2nd period, Tucker Scantleberry and Trevor Babin got into it a little bit. Babin gets 2 for roughing, Scantleberry gets 2 for embellishment, but then Babin got the extra 2 for goaltender leaving the crease, which is certainly an interesting call. I guess they needed some way to give Babin an extra 2, because they wanted to make sure Babin got the extra 2, but they also needed to put Scantleberry in the box. But calling goalie leaving the crease at the end of the period is an interesting call. Maybe an unsportsmanlike conduct would have been the option I would have gone with, but that's why I'm not down there in stripes. It's a very difficult job to be down there in stripes, and especially in a game like this one, the way things have gone tonight. Prowlers at the top, power play unit tonight in Schumacher, Federley, Johnson, Jones, and Sim out there. Giuliano, TJ Delaney, Milam, and Fields to defend for Motor City. And in just moments, we will be underway in period number 3 here from Big Boy Arena. They dump it in, and Federley will start the breakout. Johnson dangles in, but it's hooked off his stick back to center. Watched by TJ Delaney. He'll feed it up to Schumacher, who smacks it back the other way. Johnson touches it on for Sim. 30 seconds gone in the Prowlers' power play. Now they get set up for the first time as Schumacher chases after that puck. Out high it comes towards Federley, but it got through him. And the Prowlers will have to regroup again. Sneath able to backhand it the length of the ice, and a bit of a disastrous power play so far for the Prowlers. We're halfway through it. Sam Merritt now wearing a bubble after he took a stick up high, or maybe the puck, something up high in that middle period. He's out there on this second power play unit. Jay had the puck lifted off his stick as he was trying to take a shot. 40 seconds left in the power play for the Prowlers. They have Merritt, Picard, Chartrand, Jay, and Freeborn out there. With Scantleberry, who was on this unit earlier in the game, still in the penalty box. Merritt flying around. Tried to feed it out in front, nobody home. And it comes back out of the zone. Prowlers back in. Merritt feeds it across to Jay. Put it on net, the rebound. Hit the post. Picard back towards the cage. Either hit the post or Trevor Babin as Merritt tried for it. Picard with a shot off a skate and flies high. We're back to 5-on-5. Prowlers just that close to getting another one back. They're giving Babin credit for the save, but I think that puck may have hit the post. Either way, it stayed out. Wynn sent it up towards Wells, taken in by Schumacher. Now Johnson just claps that one in off his own man, Chartrand. Johnson plays it around to the near side. Rotundi goes over towards Fields, had to play it from his skates. Federley lead pass looking for Sim, eluded him, bounced back out, and Sim first on it. Gives it to Johnson walking in, his shot held on to by Babin with a battle ensuing right in front of him. Scantleberry heading out of the penalty box. Still lots of words being exchanged as Matt Graham is trying to get to his feet. .308 gone in period 3. Prowlers with another failed power play. They still trail by 3. Evan Foley gets set for this face-off against TJ Sneath. Scantleberry towards the net, just sent it wide. Jones kept it deep. Chartrand tripped up behind the net. They may have stepped on the puck, so no call. Jones winds, fires it through. That one hit something on the way by. Might have been Babin. Meanwhile, it's Conway with a step, tried to make a pass off. Now the puck gloved down, stopped. Rebound, Conway scores. In all the commotion, Declan Conway able to find the puck and put it home. And that will likely end the hopes of a comeback for the Prowlers. It's a 4-goal game. And any momentum Port Huron built there in the second period has gone away on that goal from Declan Conway. Prowlers were able to break up the first chance, but then puck was bouncing around the slot. Players were flying back. Nobody could pick it up. And finally Conway did, and he slides it home. And I think a Prowler may have been barreling towards Ian Wallace, and he wasn't able to find that puck. 16:26 to go in period 3. Sim over to Picard, now up to Matt Graham. Now for Sim, his rising shot knocked down by Babin. He'll cover up for a whistle. And Face-off will come to Babin's right. Prowlers switching up the forward unit. Cade Lambden and Cam Burt getting the assists on Declan Conway's goal. And they'll blow it dead. Maybe a false start on the face-off. Conway's second of the game, his 9th of the year. As face-off one back to Deck. Graham turned it right through the crease. Heinzel keeps it deep. Heinzel again, winds, fires, deflected, and stopped by Babin. Rebound pops out to Giuliano. He'll dump it out. Heinzel took a swing at it and missed. He and Delaney go in together. TJ Delaney trying to move it along. Pops out, and the shot goes wide off the stick of Colton. Prowlers turning it up the other way. Jay had it taken away by Suffredini, who will skate up himself, chugging up the left wing side. His shot from the outside stopped by Wallace. Graham's outlet pass taken by Wells, tried to feed it over. Prowlers turn it back the other way. There's Schumacher off his stick. Parsons kept it in. Over to Scantlebury, fresh off the bench. His drive kicked out by Babin. Schumacher tried to wrist it through, lands on Scantlebury's tape. Fighting through contact from Rotundi. Rockers take the puck. And now it's moved out to center. Schumacher moves it along. And Wells back into Prowler ice. He'll head off for a change. 14:35 left to go in period number 3. Motor City with a 7-3 lead on the Prowlers. Tied for the most goals against Prowlers have given up in a game this season. And it's tied with their trip here to Big Boy Arena on November the 10th. Burt backhands it out. Lambden trying to move it along. Has Sneath with him. Tried to put it on net, hit a stick, and pops into the catching glove of Ian Wallace. We'll take a timeout. 13:56 left to go in period 3. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
I'm proud to serve farmers because everything they do matters.
If I could choose one word to describe a farmer, I would say essential.
Dedicated.
Enterprising.
The most creative people.
They're providing food for the rest of the world.
Some of the qualities I look for when hiring is personality, perseverance, someone that's determined. We want to be able to hire someone that understands what we're supporting, and ultimately that's the grower.
Come fill McMorran Place at every Prowlers home game this season. General admission tickets are just $15 with discounts available for seniors, military, students, and children under 12. Upgrade your experience in one of our suites, or bring the whole squad to the game with discounts for groups of 10 or more. Find your best option to visit the Thumb Coast professional hockey team by visiting phprowlers.com and find the tickets tab, or call the box office at 810-985-6166. Secure your seats today. 7-3 Rockers, 13:56 to go in the third period here at Big Boy Arena. Giuliano and Merritt get set to draw to Wallace's left. Suffredini dumps it around. Federley behind his own cage. Long lead pass up, deflected in by Graham. DJ Delaney with 5 Prowlers back. Outside try, blockered by Wallace. And Delaney dumps it deep. And Graham just fires it out. That's going to be an icing against the Prowlers. The faceoff will come all the way back to Prowler ice. 13-18 up on the big board here, as nobody was chasing after that puck after Graham sent it down. They may have been looking for somebody streaking, but nobody was. It's off the faceoff. Rotundi plays it at center, trying to keep it away from Jay. He'll get into offensive territory and chase after the loose puck. Jay leaves it for Freeborn, 2-on-2 rush. Drop back to Jay, his shot eaten up by the stick of Fields and flies out of play. So the Prowlers will line up to Trevor Babin's right, with both teams getting some new units out there. Couple of ticks over 7 minutes gone in this third period. Now off the face-off, it's Fields. Sends it out of his own territory. Scantlebury back in, trying to turn it towards the front of the net, taken away by Burt. Lambden up the near side, gets it to the middle of the ice, and Conway, looking for the hat trick, just fanned on the shot in tight. Now Schumacher tries to move it up the wall. A delayed penalty coming up as Conway's helmet is off behind the play. The parade to the penalty boxes continues. Actually, Declan Conway already does have the hat trick. My apologies. No hats were thrown onto the ice, so I didn't notice. Frank Schumacher's going to the box. Goal in each period for Conway. And the hat trick tonight, he's up to 10 goals on the year. Now the Rockers with a power play. And Schumacher just threw the white towel onto the ice. And Paul Jean has given him an extra 10. And it's just been that kind of night for the Prowlers. Port Huron needs to put somebody in there to serve. And Scantlebury, who's been very familiar with the inside of the penalty box tonight, will do the honors. Rockers back to the power play, 2 for 3 so far tonight on the man advantage. Federley moves it around behind the net with no stick. He grabs his twig as the Rockers set up. Wells the one-timer. Not sure if that one actually ended up on net or not. Johnson moves it along. Prowlers looking for a shorthanded opportunity. Johnson steps in, but Jay couldn't stretch. So offside against the Prowlers. Dalton Jay just couldn't stretch the leg. .28 seconds gone in this Prowlers power play, and now Paul Jean is chatting with the penalty box attendant. Jean looks like he's pointing out a fan. I'm not really sure what happened there. Nobody is leaving. Now it looks like security up there escorting a fan out. I don't even know anymore. Milam skating up the right wing side. Sent it all the way around, and Parsons collides with the post. And the net off its moorings again. We get another whistle and another face-off. Ian Wallace hasn't seemed to have too many issues with that net to our left. It's just the one to our right that has been causing the trouble, though that time the net coming off, not because of Wallace. $1:11 left to go in the penalty to Frank Schumacher being served by Tucker Scantleberry. That puck bounces in on Babin. He'll stop it and leave it for Wynn. Up to TJ Sneath. Keeps it moving, winding, firing, and scoring was Declan Conway. And that's his 4th of the game. Make it 8 for Motor City. And a career night for Declan Conway. Mike Wynn, TJ Sneath will pick up the assists. And off the face-off, we continue play. Prowlers trail by 5. It is the most goals they've given up in a game this season. Just an overall rotten night for Port Huron to end 2023. Luckily, they'll be able to flip the calendar in just a few hours and turn the page to 2024. Stepping into it is Rotundi. His blast blocked by a brave Alex Johnson. Even though it's a 5-goal game, Alex Johnson still sacrificing the body, blocking shots. Johnson over in Graham's direction. Graham sent it right back through the crease, and Johnson getting after it with Gaudet behind the play. Meanwhile, Jay trying to move it up ice. Gaudet takes it back. Gaudet and Johnson tangle up. And we can't see what's going on because the fans have stood up, and well, these fans are frankly taller than me. So I have no idea what's going on in this pile right now because the press box is so low here at Big Boy Arena. Trevor Babin wants after Ian Wallace. Babin is waving towards Wallace, and now as Gaudet and Johnson come into view, Gaudet continues to go after Alex Johnson. Babin was waving his stick and banging it on the ice, looking down at Ian Wallace. I think Babin wanted to drop the gloves with Wallace. That would have been an interesting fight, but Wallace certainly not paying too much attention. Johnson and Gaudet's nights are over. 9:58 left to go in period 3. Foley and Giuliano are over by the referee's circle. As they continue to discuss exactly what went on. Both teams at their benches. We're going to take a timeout. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers Hockey on the PHP Network. They'll line up for the face-off with 2 ticks under 10 to play in regulation. As Rotundi lays it around to Fields. Moved up to Lambden. Chartrand up to Scantlebury. Puts a spin move on, and they'll get into offensive territory. They still battle for the puck. It slides below the goal line, and another whistle and another penalty in this one. And this one just a simple trip. Your regular run-of-the-mill tripping penalty coming to Mike Wynn. And the Prowlers back to the power play with 9:31 left to go. Face-off will be in Rockers territory and now our actual media timeout is here. 9:31 left to go in the third. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network. Prowlers power play, 9:31 to go in period number 3. As Gaudet and Johnson both get 5 and 10 earlier, moments ago. Prowlers to the power play for a tripping penalty to Mike Wynn. I know that's a little bit boring as far as penalties go in this game, but it still has to go down on the score sheet, same as all the others. And the Prowlers just trying to get the power play working. Federally to the net. That one hit a body and went wide. And it's dumped all the way down. Brian Parsons taking Johnson's spot on this power play. Federally up to Jones. He'll touch it for Parsons. Streaking in. His pass hit a stick. And Declan Conway, tonight's first star of the game, tried to clear it out. Parsons, his pass hit a stick. Federley just puts it back in. Milam using his head to knock that puck down and send it the length of the ice. We're halfway through the Prowlers power play. They'll switch up the unit. Elton J to Scantlebury up the left wing side. Leaves it for Picard. He'll dump it around. Freeborn. Down deep. Comes back out to Freeborn at the point. Gives it to Scantlebury, wrist shot. Missed everything and goes wide. Jay, his pass touched by Delaney. Scantlebury moves it back in. 21 seconds left on the Prowlers power play as Milam takes the puck and he'll send it all the way down. Jay dumps it around. Fields tried to dump it out. Comes to Freeborn at the blue line. Back to 5-on-5. It's given to Merritt in the corner. Jay in front. That one bounces to Picard. Tried to wrist it through. Taken away. Wells fed it across. Wynn fresh out of the box, battling for that puck in the corner. The shot from the point shattered Rotundi's twig. And the Prowlers will get out. It's Freeborn stepping in. Gave it to Scantleberry. Freeborn taken out behind the play. And he's down, he's hurt. It was Elias Thompson. Who else? Who will be whistled for this penalty away from the play. And Freeborn back to his feet and chirping Elias Thompson as Thompson heads to the box. Cross-checking is the call, and the Prowlers will go right back to the man advantage. Quality power play is back out there. Power play and penalty kill sponsors getting their money's worth tonight. Quality power play and the True Balance penalty kill. Graham in front looking for Sim, whiffed on it, and then Jones fired a howitzer wide. Parsons got it over to Federley. Slap pass to Graham. Got through him though. Graham again. Over to Jones. Touches it to Federley. Just wristed it deep. Comes right on Giuliano's stick. He'll dump it down. 35 seconds gone in the penalty to Elias Thompson. But on for Parsons. He'll dump it in. Head after it himself. Goes in with Burt. And Federley all the way around. Milam plays it over to Burt. Burt again. Oh, curls, gives to Milam. He'll dump it out. Freeborn up to Scantleberry. Prowlers gain the zone again on this power play. And the outside shot right into the breadbasket of Trevor Babin with 5:35 left to go in this one. Sam Merritt will lead his unit out there for this face-off. 46 seconds left in the Prowlers power play. Played along the near half wall, pops out to Burt. Backhands a pass on for Landon, who gloves it down for himself. And then Lambda and Freeborn going to the wall together. Crowd gathers, and Scantleberry able to pull the puck out. Final 23 seconds ticking off the penalty clock. Freeborn up to Scantleberry. Scantleberry works in all the way around the net. Tried to feed it towards the back door. Jay was there, but it hopped over his stick. Thompson released. Now back to 5-on-5 as Picard turns and heads up ice with some fresh troops heading off the bench. Lead passes for TJ Delaney. Wallace comes all the way out to play it away, and the Prowlers netminder has iced the puck. We'll take our final timeout with 4:29 left to go in the third. Dan Chartrand and Trevor Babin having a little conversation. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
and cheese is up.
Mac and cheese pizza? Mac and cheese pizza.
That's right, the new mac and cheese pizza from Hungry Howie's. Mac and cheese, mozzarella, panko breadcrumbs, and our famous flavored crust. Only for a limited time.
Hungry
Howie's! 4.5 to go in this one, 8-3 Motor City. We invite you to tune into our next broadcast on Tuesday, January 2nd. Just 2 days from now, when the Prowlers will face off with the Mississippi Seawolves. Puck drop is scheduled for 8:05 p.m. Eastern Time. The pregame show starts at 7:50. It's all right here on the PHP Network. Comes over to Rotundi. Gives it back over to Fields. Conway, who already has 4 in the game, tried to put it on net, but he fanned. And Chartrand comes the other direction. Fields pushed up against the wall by Sim. Chartrand pulls it out. Turned it on net, and it's gloved and held by Babin. Lambden gives Sim a shove, who in turn shoves Devon Fields. A little shoving train going on there. I guess it's still the season of giving, so Tristan Sim just paying that shove forward from Lambden to Devon Fields. Lambden's actually getting a penalty for that one. So in the season of giving, the referees have given Cade Lambden a penalty, and Lambden will head to the locker room. Prowlers have decided to pull Ian Wallace, trailing by 5 with 4 minutes to go. And a power play. As Thompson will serve. I think Lambden may have just sent himself to the dressing room. Parsons. And now it's worked up to Giuliano. He'll backhand it towards the empty net. Hit the post. Right off the pipe. Mitch Jones dangling his way in. Gives it to Scantleberry towards the cage. Blocked by Babin, and then Jones just rose it too high. And the puck skitters all the way back to Prowler ice. Parsons skates up with it. Around Sneath. He'll dump it in and head after it himself. Jones, wrist shot deflected, and Babin may have got a piece of it. Scantleberry to Picard, now Federley. Wrist shot, score! Not sure if that one went straight through. There was a couple of Prowlers in front. Austin Federley gets his second power play goal of the afternoon. And another one back for the Prowlers late in this one. Of course, that one won't mean much in the results of this one, as Cade Landon did get an extra 10 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct. He ended up with a 2 and 10, both for unsportsmanlike conduct. That's why he headed off the ice early. Braden Deck up to Graham. Pass handcuffed him a little bit, so he gives it back. Scantleberry and Picard will get the assists on Austin Federley's second of the afternoon. Freeborn towards Jay. Went off his stick. And now Wells the other way. Flips it out. Prowler's net is empty, and Tim Delaney hit the post. Tim Delaney was looking for his first with the Rockers, his first point this year, and he hit the post. on the empty net. Jay back into the crease. They bang around. Picard a turnaround shot. That one stopped as Wallace is on the bench again. They lift it high and out. 6 Prowlers attacking. They trail by 4. And Jones will chase after it in his own end. Conway flying in with 4 goals on the night. Steal in Prowler territory. Port Huron turns it back out. Sim walks. Tried to feed it down low towards Merritt. That one sent down towards the empty net. Scantleberry cut it off before it got there. He'll curl away from Elias Thompson and head up ice. Scantleberry in, fires off the back wall. Rebound pops all the way out towards Thompson, who handed it right to Tristan Sim. Final minute of this one. Parsons sends it in. Popped out in front again. Nobody able to tap it for Port Huron, and Parsons has to retreat to center. Scantleberry at the Rockers' blue line. Gets in, fires one, stopped by Babin. That one knocked down by a high stick of the Prowlers. So we'll get a whistle and a face-off and a little bit more delay to the end of this one. 33.3 up on the clock. If you're looking for something to do after these 30 seconds tick off, Danbury and Binghamton will be dropping the puck in just a few minutes. And either broadcast you pick, you'll get a good one. Brooks Hill and Doug Latuca both do a great job. I'm sure both of those games will be on their respective YouTube channels. So that one's dumped all the way down. 25 seconds to go in this one. Deck, lead pass, tipped in by Graham. Foley and Suffredini after it. Foley gets there first. Pass to Chartrand, tried to feed it out in front where Jay was. Hops over his stick. Jay gloved it down, tried to put it back on net. Final 5 seconds, and now Babin going after a Prowler. It's a real brouhaha ensuing. Trevor Babin just went right after one of the Prowlers in front of his net. And there's a reason Trevor Babin led the FPHL's goaltenders with over 100 penalty minutes last year. Chartrand and Babin have the gloves off. At least one glove each. Chartrand giving Babin some lefts. Chartrand still putting on the lefts on Babin. Now he gets the right hand free. Babin trying to throw back some lefts. We have a goalie fight against the player here. Chartrand and Babin still spinning each other around. Couple more punches from each. Babin trying to tackle down Chartrand. Chartrand has the jersey pulled over Babin's head, and now they go down to the ice. Well, Babin wanted Ian Wallace earlier. He wouldn't get him, but he did get Dan Chartrand. We've had everything in this game. Now TJ Delaney and Dalton Jay are barking at each other. Babin has the jersey fully over top of his head. Chartrand wants some more, but he'll be escorted back to his locker room. And some cheers from the Prowlers faithful who made the trip for Dan Chartrand. And now fans getting after it in the stands here, yelling back and forth, and this might get a little bit ugly. All right, we need to get security over here as the fans are yelling at each other in the stands. It's all fun and games if you keep it on the ice. But once it goes into the stands, and now Paul Jean is ejecting some fans. Not the first time he's had to do that tonight. There are 3.5 seconds up on the clock. And it wouldn't shock me if they just cleared those 3.5 seconds off. This one has turned ugly, not just on the scoreboard. Rockers are going to win this game 8-4. And the FPHL's Director of Player Safety, Dave Jackson, is going to have some work to do. Prowlers play next on Tuesday, so he'll have to work quickly. I mean, at this point, we can just end the game, and I don't think anyone's going to complain. The referees are just taking their time in front of the penalty boxes right now. I really not sure what any kind of delay there is. Brady Beaton on the Rockers broadcast is having a much more impassioned speech about them ending this game right now than I am, and that's exactly what they do. Time expires, and the Motor City Rockers come away with an 8-4 victory over the Port Huron Prowlers tonight. Declan Conway, 4 goals to lead the way for Motor City. Jameson Milam, TJ Sneath, Roman Gaudette, goal and 2 helpers apiece. These two teams will meet next on January the 19th and 20th. And we'll see if we'll get some more fireworks in those games, as Motor City takes 2 out of 3 this weekend from Port Huron. And the Prowlers dropped to 3-5-1 against the Rockers this season. They've lost 2 straight. 8-10-3 on the year are the Prowlers. Now the Rockers improved to 13-5-4. I want to invite you again to tune into our next broadcast on Tuesday when the Prowlers face the Mississippi Seawolves. Puck drop scheduled for 8:05 Port Huron time. Pregame show starts at 7:50 right here on the PHP Network. Now this one was ugly just about from the start. It was a 1-1 score midway through the first, but then the Rockers scored the game's next 5 goals. They opened up a 6-1 lead. Prowlers got a couple back, but then Motor City scored twice here in the third. 8-4 your final. And Port Huron will have to travel to Mississippi with losses in 5 of their last 6 games. And a lot of questions to be answered in the midst of a 7 games in 9 days stretch. But I have a bus to catch as I join the team down there. Please join us for our broadcast. But for now, for Sam Gagnon running the camera, I'm Will Wiggleman. Have a happy new year. We'll see you in 2024 right here on the PHP Network.